UFC 314 Volkanovski versus Lopes official predictions. Starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event. These are my official prediction. I gave you guys the early picks. These are my official picks. After doing a little bit of research, a little bit of my picks change. If you want quicker updates to these picks, follow me on IG and follow us on TikTok at The Script MMA. Let's get straight into it. I went Haley Cohen just because French fighters haven't been looking that good. And I was like, you know what? Is that even a good excuse? Nora took Jacqueline Cavalcanti to a split decision. Really hard to do that in the first place. So I'm going Nora Canole. She's also really good, actually. And Haley is coming off a long layoff. With that being said, I just felt like it was right to actually give this pick to Nora, because she'll probably get it done. But I still think Cohen is decent as a pick, and she can finish the job. She has the wrestling, but Nora should have the takedown defense to negate it, and she should be the pick. Moving on, Tresean Gore. I'm sticking with this pick. I had Marco Tulio. Marco Tulio, really good fighter. Looked really impressive on the Dana White Contender Series. Not really too much to be explained here, but I just feel like Marco Tulio has been looking really good. And Tresean Gore hasn't really fought someone as good as Marco Tulio. And he's winning in life, boys. If you don't know, his girlfriend's Norma Dumont. And Norma Dumont's tough. So as long as he doesn't act like he won in life inside the cage, he should be able to get this one done, probably by early KO as well. Tresean Gore is coming off those 2 subs, but it's off guillotines. He can't shoot a takedown, but we'll see if he even gets to shoot a takedown on Marco Tulio, because I'm smelling KO in the first 2 rounds. Moving on up the card. My original pick was against Sumergi. I picked Mitch Reposado. And I'm going Sumergi. Just Mitch Reposo. Looking back on the Andre Lima fight, I said I thought he'd do good because it was a split decision, but apparently that split decision wasn't really a split decision like how I'm thinking it was. So I'm just gonna go against Mitch here. Andre Lima pretty clearly won that split decision. It wasn't as close as I expected. And Sumergi, just a lot of UFC experience, and Mitch Raposo's pretty small for flyweight, bro. He's like 5'4", 5'3". Huge, significant reach disadvantage. Really bad reach disadvantage. So we'll see, but for now, the pick is actually Sumergi. And to end off the prelims, I picked Dumas, and I'm still picking Dumas, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mikhailo Oseichek actually got a knockout in this. It's just hard to pick against Dumas, if that makes any sense. It's just hard to pick against him because we've seen Michael Oseichek get controlled, and Dumas can literally just come in here. He has a decent chin on him. He's only been cracked twice, but that was by Nursultan Ruziboyev. So besides that, he can actually hang him with Michael Oseichek, in my opinion. So I'm going Dumas just because he can get the control time, but Michael Oseichek has versed insane competition, really tough dude, has heavy hands, and he's been shooting for takedowns recently, so that's a good sign. But yeah. Moving on up the card, we have Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa. This one's tricky to pick because Darren Elkins is really tough, man. He keeps that pressure going. He's like Marab. He's gonna shoot continuous takedowns. He wears damage very well. He's a durable dude. And Julian Erosa, he kills all these prospects, right? But then he loses to people like Darren Elkins. So he's really unpredictable. If I were you, I wouldn't even add Julian Erosa in my parlay. Or if you're doing parlays, would stay away from this fight. And I'd stay away from the Dumas Michael Oseichek fight. Both these 2 fights, in my opinion, 50-50. The odds don't really show. And we've hit on Like, we've gave you guys underdog picks that are huge before. We gave you guys Chris Duncan against Vucenic. Chris Duncan was like a plus 280. So, kind of have a similar situation here. Just a tricky fight. Like, even if Julian Erosa wins, like, I still wouldn't. I still wouldn't bet it. And then we have Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper. Jim Miller has a whole bunch of fights in the UFC. I think he won the most fights in the UFC. Has a lot of fights in the UFC. Or maybe not won the most, but he has the most fights in the UFC. Versus Chase Hooper. And, man, Chase Hooper is just so annoying on the ground. Such a slick grappler. Made Clay Guida, like, look terrible. Like, I get it, Clay Guida's old, but, like, man, Chase Hooper just definitely evolved his game. And I'm just watching him live. He's just a slick grappler. Like, you think you're out of something, but you're actually falling into a setup. And then now he has you in an armbar or something. Maybe now he has your back. Now, Yeah, and then Jim Miller, I mean, tough matchup. But I don't think he's going to be able to really keep up with Chase Hooper. Like, Jim Miller's coming off that KO, the submission in the first round against Damon Jackson. Bro, Jackson's trash, bro. Like, we're talking about, like, a legitimate prospect in Chase Hooper. Really, really tough prospect in Chase Hooper. And I just think his BJJ is going to be too much. Although Jim Miller does have more BJJ experience, it's just Chase Hooper is gonna be faster, slicker, quicker. Just give me Chase Hooper, man. Give me Chase Hooper. The odds speak for themselves. Moving on up the card, we have Yan Xiaonan versus Verna Jandiroba. And I'm going Verna Jandiroba. A lot of people kind of agree with me on this one. Like, Verna just has that takedown threat, constant takedowns, constantly in your face. She has the submission threat. And Yan Xiaonan, like, she's a really good fighter. She's number one in the division for a reason. She can give Verna Jandiroba a run for her money, especially since Yan has the cardio. Yan doesn't really slow down like that. We can't see Verna slow down, but, man, give me Verna Jandiroba. I just feel like the people who can really just grapple in the women's division just set a pace, and it's hard, man. I mean, and Yan Xiaonan, she's decent on the feet, of course, right? But, I mean, her grappling's not all that, so we'll see how it gets checked by Verna. And moving on up the card, we have Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. Bro, I was thinking about this fight so hard. I'm like, listen, Dan Ige, tough dude, right? Tough dude. Sean Woodson is just too lengthy, bro. There's no other way to put it. Sean Woodson is too lengthy. The reach is just insane, man. Like, Sean Woodson is 6'2", and he's just like long leg reach, long arm reach, long wingspan. Like, what do we, like, Ige is gonna have to close so much distance, and then, like, the person Sean Woodson loses to is like a tough grappler, because you can't even take him down. His takedown defense is like 85% takedown defense, so you can't take him down. He's hard to reach. The ultimate counter to Sean Woodson is a leg kicker, like a guy who's like I don't really know how to describe, but someone who's gonna mix in the leg kicks and the grappling. That's the only way you beat Sean Woodson. You're not gonna outbox him. His boxing's too crisp. You're not gonna hit him. How you gonna close that reach distance? And then he's 6'2" in a division where the taller guys are 5'10". Like, Ige is the average height for the featherweight division, about like 5'7", 5'8", sometimes 5'6", 5'9", sometimes. But, bro, 6'2", jeez, man. I just feel like Sean Woodson's like playing unfair, man, and he has a decent chin on him, so I'm going Sean Woodson. But Ige is a tough guy to get out, to take out. Like, he's a hard guy to KO, so we'll see. Yeah, I think Ige is a decent dog, but it's like, bro, I don't know how he's gonna win. because he's not really a crazy grappler. He's not gonna throw crazy leg kicks to take out Sean Woodson's legs. So it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, Ige has the power, right? But how is he gonna close the distance? We'll see. Moving on up to the main card, we have Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. And like I said, I'm going Nikita Krylov. Dominic Reyes is a tough guy, but he's just not the same Dominic Reyes as before. Nikita Krylov. A lot of people are saying, like, a lot of people are kind of 50-50 on this fight. Like, I get it. Dominic Reyes is a solid underdog in this fight. But I'm not going to act like Nikita Krylov isn't underrated. Has really good takedowns. And Dominic Reyes is kind of like a up in the air type of fighter. He's kind of hard to predict. Like, he'll beat this guy, then he gets KO'd. He'll beat Ryan Spann, gets KO'd by Ryan, or beat by Ryan Spann. I forgot by how, but it's tough, man. Like, I want to pick, like, we all like Dominic Reyes, right? But he's on a 2-fight win streak, and not that impressive 2-fight win streak. Like, he beat Anthony Smith, but Anthony Smith gave up. And then Nikita Krylov is coming off that layoff, but do people forget he's like right in the middle of the Ukraine-Russia war? He changed his flag from Ukraine to Russia, so we'll see what's up. But give me Nikita Krylov. I feel like he has the grappling, and he has, averages 2 takedowns per fight. Dominic Reyes has decent takedown defense at 82%, like we just seen, but we'll see. We'll see how he does. I wouldn't be surprised if Krylov got a KO in the earlier rounds. This is actually backwards. It's actually Yair Rodriguez, so I'm going to just do Yair first, then we'll move on. But yeah, Yair Rodriguez, really tall for the division, obviously. He's a slick striker. I'm still going Yair Rodriguez, but these Bellator people don't really lose in their debuts, but I just feel like Patricio Pitbull's time is over, man. He's older now. He's not what he once was, or who he once was. Not to say he's a bad fighter. It's hard to pick against Yair in this situation, especially Yair's resume is nice. Like, he only lost to Brian Ortega and Volkanovski. Volk in his prime, and Brian Ortega pretty much in his prime as well. So I like Yair Rodriguez in this fight. Give me Yair Rodriguez. Patricio Pitbull, I was looking through his resume, the people he did beat, and then the people who they beat, and the people aren't impressive. The people he's beat, I'm looking at their resumes, they're not impressive. So we'll see what's up. We'll see how he does in the UFC. But anyway, moving on to Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell and Gene Silva. Man, I'm going Gene Silva, but I don't think it's going to KO Bryce. If anything, it's probably going to be by decision. I think Bryce is Gene Silva is a solid fighter, right? But, Bryce, man. Bryce is also only lost to Emmett and Topuria. Not even Topuria could KO Bryce. So, even though Emmett just, it's like a perfect punch. So, give me Bryce. No, I'm just kidding. Give me Gene Silva, but Bryce Mitchell should make this close. Now, moving on to the co-main event, and I'm going Paddy Pimblett. I don't know how people are saying they're going Michael Chandler. Bro, like, what has Michael Chandler done in his last few fights, bro? It's like Paddy Pimblett's very technical, and Michael Chandler is just going to go out there and swing meaty hooks, bro. Like, who are you going to pick? The guy who's actually, like, taking his career very seriously? Not saying that Chandler isn't, but I feel like Chandler's kind of trying to milk the money from the UFC and get those fight of the night bonuses type of thing, instead of using the wrestling that he really trains for. Bro, Charles Oliveira was like, obviously this is Charles Oliveira, right? But he made Michael Chandler like look trash, bro. Like, Charles Oliveira had a masterclass on Chandler, so. And Chandler's also, he be cheating sometimes, man, biting people's fingers off, all this, whatever the fuck. Or sticking, like for Dustin Poirier, he stuck his fingers in Dustin Poirier's mouth to, like, whatever, bro. But, yeah. And then hit Charles Oliveira in the back of the head. We'll see what's up. But yeah, I'm going Patty Pimblett, and I think Patty Pimblett by finish, if I'm being honest. Just being honest. And moving on to the main event of the evening. At first, I did pick Alexander Volkanovski, but I'm going Diego Lopes, man. Volk can get it done, right? But I think Diego Lopes, as you guys seen from the underdog video, the underdog of the week, man. Diego Lopes is the best underdog on this card. And this is one of those, man. I was really thinking about it. I'm like, maybe Dumas can get it done. Maybe Dumas is the best underdog, man. Diego Lopes statistically is the best underdog. 5-fight win streak. Looked really impressive. Taking all these fights on short notice. Stepping up. Doesn't care who he fights. I mean, man, this kid's a savage. This kid's a savage. Nah, but give me Diego Lopes. He probably guesses by finish in the first 2 rounds. Maybe 3rd round submission. I think Volk's time is up. And I wouldn't be surprised if Volk won if he calls out like Ilya or something. But we'll see. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. That is my predictions. Follow us. Get our picks. Everything will be in the description. And I'm out.